Craig from Direct. Well, after the epic fail of my mad marathon terrain weekend due to complete camera failure, this weekend I'm going to be working on a project that I've had in my head for some time. Basically what this is a Necroplaza for Necromunda, or Warhammer 40,000. I suppose you could use it as a city fight terrain if you wish. The actual project that I have is huge. The scale of what I want to achieve is huge, so it's not going to be able to be done in one weekend, and there's no possibility of that. But I am going to try and get as much of it together as I can. But what I'm really having trouble with is there's a couple of things that I'm not sure about how to achieve, such as riveting on buildings and such. I might think of a way. There is some ways that I've got in my head, but I don't think they're going to be very quick to do, or they're very fiddly, or they're not going to all look the same. There'll be no symmetry in them. Maybe if I do come up with something from now until I actually get to that point, maybe I will make a video. If anybody else out there is actually watching this video, can think of a way that I can do like a, bearing in mind it's for Necromunda Warhammer 40,000, pop rivets into buildings, into bulkheads. I don't know if anybody's actually ever seen the Necromunda box game, which came out a long time ago. The actual box actually came with loads of these square plastic bulkheads that you could just put together, and they were actually really cool. Unfortunately you can't get them anymore from Games Workshop itself because the game's been discontinued. I would love to see that game come back. However, so I'm going to try and build my own bulkheads. So if that's something that you'd find interesting, I might actually do a little small video how I'm going to achieve. I've actually already built up a template, and I'm going to be using foam core and plasticard as my materials to actually make these bulkheads. And what I wanted to achieve is the riveting on the actual bulkheads themselves. Using weathering powders and rust effects and things like that, I think I can get a really good look out of the bulkheads themselves. As for the buildings, there's a lot of templates I've already designed out of wood, which I can just easily trace around, cut out a foam core and put them together, and I'll have perfect symmetry all the way through my levels. I've actually got multiple pictures off of the internet. Google, great place to have a look for images and such forth for sci-fi industry and things like that. So there's going to be lots of cables and lots of pipes and things like that going right the way through it. So if anybody is watching this and can actually think of a way, an easier way than I can of actually doing the pop riveting on the actual bulkheads, which I haven't thought about, or something, that would be a huge help. This piece of terrain that I'm going to be making, the Necroplaza, is not just going to be one building, it's going to be multiple. It could be, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully I'm going to take you across the journey as I'm doing this. This will include like small little videos here and there, and maybe just pictures, so I'll do a slideshow with a voiceover at certain points as I'm going across. All depends upon my time, because normally when I'm getting hammered into a project I tend to focus on that project and I just keep going and going and going and going at it. So anyway, if anyone can help, please leave me a comment. I'll include my Direct email for anybody that, if they wanted to private message me. Other than that, it would be just a humongous help. Even maybe someone might have other ideas of doing bulkheads which I haven't thought about. I have thought about casting them, but it's just going to take far too long. The cure process and the amount of cost in silicons, prepping up moulds, things like that, it's not really ideal, because each individual bulkhead I want to be slightly different. Maybe like 4 of one type, 4 of another, 4 of another, 4 of another. As I say, I've already got a base blank which I can trace around and cut out of the foam core itself. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time already. So if anyone can help, please, please, please leave a comment. Other than that, as I normally say, happy wargaming.